emergency checks and fast-tracking funding, state lawmakers are now hearing another crisis inside of Texas Child Protective Services. 1 in 3 children who run away from foster care are not found, some of them as young as 11 years old.
Those who are located may have spent up to 6 weeks on their own. And KXAN investigator Robert Maxwell learned that makes them prime targets for child sex traffickers and lifelong trauma.
In Texas, 973 foster kids ran away this past year, sometimes simply because they didn't like the house rules. CPS confirms a third of those kids, 340 vulnerable young people, have simply disappeared.
Why were a third of those kids not recovered?
Well, we're still looking for them, so that was a number that was a point in time. We always need the continued support of law enforcement to help us look for missing runaways.
But the director of CPS investigations tells KXAN some police departments in Texas won't add a runaway 17-year-old to missing kids databases since the law considers them an adult. And while CPS now assigns a special investigator to each foster runaway, child safety groups warn sex traffickers can lure a wayward teen within hours, not days or weeks.
This is happening to the most vulnerable children in our communities.
And for those who are rescued, it's not as simple as returning them to a foster family. Child advocates say these traumatized kids need intensive help. And right now in Texas, that kind of safe therapeutic foster home does not exist. Fewer still are emergency beds for rescued runaway foster children.
If law enforcement goes out, they do a sting operation or they go recover a child. Well, where are they going to take them after they recover them? And there's just not those places out there.
In Austin, Robert Maxwell, KXAN investigates.
Child safety groups are asking lawmakers to give CPS more money to hire specialized caseworkers. These workers would deal only with foster children who have been sex trafficked. And while experts say the true numbers are higher, this past year, 32 rescued foster runaways admitted they were forced into the sex trade.
A project is going on right now to give teenage girls rescued from the sex trade industry a safe place to stay and recover. We brought you an update on the Refuge last night. This longtime residential facility outside of Austin just broke ground. The Refuge Ranch will provide trauma-informed, holistic care for girls on site. It is expected to be complete sometime next year, and it will join only a scant few other facilities like it around Texas.